Hello everyone, I'm Harvey and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. As you can see, I finished 4th overall and 1st in England in the 2021 season in FPL, and I would like to share some tips and tricks to help you along your FPL journey. Let's dive straight into it. So looking back at my Game Week 33 team, I got 90 points at the end, which was 34 above the average, so a really decent week again, and it gave me a green arrow just outside the top 20k now, so yeah, I'm moving up in the world. In terms of the returns, I think the glaring mistake is captaining Saka, but I feel like it was a bit hard done by in terms of the result because he got 1.39 expected goal involvements against Ipswich, and he also had a chance against Palace, but obviously he did start on the substitutes bench. So yeah, overall a bit disappointing, but in terms of the decision to go for him as captain, I thought could have paid off, and it nearly did, but yeah, the outcome isn't as I expected. Mateta came in with the 10-pointer. I wasn't expecting an 8-pointer against Arsenal when he came on for 10 minutes, but he actually came away with all 3 bonus points as well, so yeah, really happy with him. And yeah, if you have him going forward, the fixtures aren't actually that bad, apart from that Liverpool away fixture in 38, but they may be on the beach in that game, so after winning the league. But yeah, no, if you do have him, obviously you're happy with the 10-pointer this week, and so as another 10-pointer, and he did score and just managed to get the 60 minutes in the tank as well, because obviously that's 2 points rather than 1, and he came away with 2 bonus points as well. So yeah, another 9-pointer accumulated to 10 points for the double game week. And then Munoz actually got a clean sheet in the first game against Bournemouth, but he also got booked in typical Munoz fashion, and yeah, he got 1 point against Arsenal, so happy with him. And Buemo, I think, was the main thing that went right for me this week in terms of choosing whether to keep him or sell him, and I chose to keep him in the end, and he actually came away with 2 goals and 1 assist, and obviously 3 bonus as well against Brighton. And yeah, that 18-pointer basically shot up my rank. I wasn't expecting it, but obviously I'm really happy that it did happen. I think it's unfortunate for people that obviously went for the likes of De Bruyne instead, and maybe done a -4 as well to get to a double game week player. But yeah, I'm happy with my single game week player in Buemo, and although I'm wildcarding in 34, I imagine he will be part of that wildcard team, as I'll discuss later in the video. And then Gvardiol got a 7-pointer, obviously that clean sheet against Everton away. Yeah, looked really solid in the first game, and then City were a bit rocky in the second game against Villa, but they came away with 3 points. As you can see, they got 1.76 expected goals against, so Villa probably quite unlucky not to come away with at least a point against them. But yeah, happy with the 7 points. Another single game weeker that actually paid off for me was Aït-Nouri. Obviously I benched him for that 14-pointer against Spurs, which was quite painful. But yeah, he got another clean sheet against United, and again, in a typical Aït-Nouri fashion, he got a yellow card. But yeah, I'm not going to complain about the clean sheets. Martinez, I wasn't expecting much in his double against Newcastle and City, but yeah, he got 2 pointers, so he came away with 4. The rest of the team kind of blanked. Obviously Marmoush blanked in both. Again, I think you're kind of unlucky if you didn't get a return, and you actually went for him as captain, because 0.7 expected goal involvements, and in the second game I think he wasn't as lively yet, 0.43, but still that accumulates to 1 expected goal involvement across the 2 games. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing in terms of the captaincy choices for this week, but yeah, that's FPL for you. And then obviously the last topic to discuss is the assistant manager, and again I made the right decision and went for Arteta, and he got 17 points across the 2 games as well, so yeah, really happy about that. And yeah, the rest of the team blanked, but another decent game week really. And let me discuss the wildcard team for the game week 34. So looking at my game week 34 wildcard team, it's a bit of a complicated one because there are meant to be doubles in 36, but it's getting less and less likely the longer that it goes on without an announcement being made. But in terms of the planned doubles, City, if they beat Forest in the semi-final of the FA Cup, they will most likely get a double of Southampton and Bournemouth in 36. And then if Villa beats Crystal Palace in the other semi-final, they will obviously blank in 37 and also have a double in 36 as well. But I won't go into this week owning any Villa players, because I think the fixture run for City is a priority really compared to Villa, because City have got Southampton away in 36 anyway. So even if they don't beat Forest and obviously double in 36, I really want the maximum amount of City assets. So yeah, I've gone for 3 assets on the bench, and obviously they blank in 34. So my bench is non-existent for this week, but hopefully with my wildcard first 11, they will all play and hopefully get a few points for me. But yeah, moving on to the actual starting 11, I've got Kepa in goal. Prefer him over Sells as well, because basically the keeper duo that I've gone for, so obviously one plays with Forest, so if Forest actually beat City in the semi-final, then they will blank in 37. But City actually play Bournemouth in 37, so obviously Kepa's the keeper for Bournemouth. So if City win that fixture in the semi-final of the FA Cup, basically Kepa will have that double and will blank in 37. So it is a bit confusing, but long story short, I will have a keeper in 37 and 36 that has a double if I pick these two. So that's probably the reason why you've seen this duo all over Twitter. And yeah, I think that's the best duo. The other duo you could go for is the Wolves keeper Sarr and the Aston Villa keeper Martinez, because if Aston Villa beats Crystal Palace in the semi-final, then obviously they will blank in 37. But Crystal Palace actually play Wolves in 37, so if Crystal Palace beats Aston Villa in the semi-final, then they will blank in 37. So yeah, long story short, I think this is the best duo for wildcard 34. Obviously, I've doubled up with the Bournemouth defence for this week. Although their fixtures aren't great, as I said previously, they are most likely to get a double if City win in the semi-final. So yeah, I'm also thinking about that game week 38 fixture against Leicester. But yeah, I really like Kirkez, and he's just really attacking, and he's a top player that won't be at Bournemouth next season, I believe. So I think Liverpool are interested in him. So yeah, happy to own him. And yeah, although Man United isn't a green fixture, well, it is a green fixture on paper, they will be rotating against Bournemouth, I believe, because they've got that Europa League semi-final coming up. So yeah, that's the Bournemouth defence. And then Aït-Nouri, I've had him for quite a while now, and yeah, there's no reason to sell him on, because as I mentioned previously, they may actually get a double in 36 if Palace win their semi-final. So yeah, he's just really attacking. As I've seen previously, he's got 0.78 goal involvements for a defender, which is unheard of. So he's in the team for this week against Leicester at home, which is one of the plum fixtures for this week. Then the next defender is Robinson. This is the one spot that I'm not entirely sure on at the moment. He has got Southampton away this week, and I do plan on bench boosting in 36. So yeah, he's got Everton at home. But the one problem that I am having is picking a game week 35 defender that has a decent fixture that also works for bench boost in 36. So I've gone for him at the moment. He's just really attacking. His assist potential is unbelievable, and he's actually overperformed his assists this season. I think he's in double figures now for assists. So yeah, I think I'm planning on keeping him or going for a Newcastle defender. But yeah, obviously you'll find out in the next video what I did. Milenkovic has been in all my drafts recently. Again, he's got that potential to have a double in 36, and the fixtures either side of that as well are really good, which means that I ideally want to triple up on Forest players, because obviously I'm bench boosting in 36 and they've got Leicester at home. So yeah, I think that's the most optimal approach for this week in terms of my wildcard. And then moving on to the midfield, I've got Bowen. Again, he's got the potential for a double game week in 36, because he's actually playing Forest in 37. So yeah, either side of that fixture as well, I believe that he's a solid pick. He's on penalties, I believe, if Paqueta's not playing. And yeah, outside of that, his attacking threat is all good as well. So yeah, I think he's been in every draft I've made as well, and I don't think he's going anywhere in terms of me moving him on to someone else. And Buemo, again, is another player that's been in every draft. The fixtures for the rest of the season are really nice in terms of the difficulty rating, and I'm also looking at Wissa as well, maybe for a potential double up, but yeah, I haven't decided on that yet. But yeah, as I said previously, they've got Ipswich away in 36, which I'm actually bench boosting in, hopefully. So yeah, that's the plan. And then Salah as captain for this week. Again, every draft has had him in purely because he's obviously broken a lot of records this season. And although he's blanked outside of penalties for the last 9 games, I believe now, in terms of goals scoring, he's still an unbelievable asset. And although he's got Arsenal at home in 36, I feel like I just want him either side of that fixture as well. So yeah, I'm keeping him and actually captaining him on paper for this week as well, unless that changes to Isak. But yeah, I think I'll land on Salah. At the moment, Barnes is in, but he might become Kluivert from Bournemouth purely because of that double fixture potential in 36. But yeah, Harvey Barnes, again, I call that price rise to 6 million, so he might actually remain in the team for this week, which is why he's in the draft at the moment. And then the other Newcastle player that I've got is Isak. Again, I think he's a must in the wildcard draft, even though he's got Chelsea at home, which on paper could be an easy fixture. So I'm definitely going to keep him for Ipswich at home. And again, he's my vice captain for this week. So yeah, he's not going anywhere. And then Chris Woods to finish off the Forest triple up, obviously with Sales on the bench. Again, he scored against Spurs in 33, so he's on form, and he also has that potential for a double in 36. So yeah, again, I think he's a must on my wildcards. I've toyed with the idea of going for Visser instead of Marmoush, because Haaland's getting better, apparently, according to Guardiola. So maybe, I think Haaland's expected back in the 36, so maybe I could change Marmoush to Visser or Evan Nilsson or someone like that and just rejig the team around. But for me, I'm just keeping Marmoush because he's on penalties at the moment, and yeah, he's the number 9 for City. So even if he's not there for Southampton away, I think I want him for that Wolves match, and just the potential for him to have that double in 36. But yeah, that's the wildcard team at the moment. It may change. Obviously, I've got De Bruyne on the bench and Guardiola as well. De Bruyne, I feel like I want a bit of nostalgia before he leaves City, so I've gone for him. And then Guardiola's just, I think he's nailed in terms of my wildcard draft. So yeah, obviously I want a bit of that City defence as well. And I could go for an Aston Villa player, but like Rodgers. But for me, I see the potential in City rather than Aston Villa for their fixtures. So yeah, that's the wildcard team for this week. If you are wildcarding, I think it's only a handful of FPL teams, because most people are free hitting this week. But yeah, this is something that I'm obviously looking to do, and this is the team that I think is the most optimal wildcard team for 34. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next one.